Hello, we used this worksheet to review for our test, and if you still don't understand, then you should watch this. We have a rectangle. It says rectangle ABCD is a rectangle. Automatically, when you see that this is a rectangle, automatically properties of the rectangle should pop up in your mind. And remember, the rectangle has all the properties of a parallelogram, plus the diagonals are congruent. Okay, so knowing that, let's answer these fill in the blanks. If AE is equal to 3, that means that from here to here, from this point to this point, this is 3. So let's write 3. If A is 3, how much is AC? AC would be the whole diagonal. So if half of the diagonal is 3, the whole thing should be 6. For BE, the same thing. I know the diagonals are congruent. So if AC is 6, BD has to be 6, making BE equal 3 also. And BD we said is 6. DE, which is half of the diagonal, is 3. Okay? Now, let's skip to question 9. If the measure of angle BAE is 30, let's look for angle BAE. That would be this angle here. It says this angle is 30 degrees. I'm going to write it up here. 30 degrees. What's the measure of angle ABE? ABE would be this angle here. And we saw in class that this angle is the base angle of an isosceles triangle. And here's the triangle we're talking about. This triangle here. If you see this triangle, you'll notice that it has two sides that are congruent. And those two sides are this side and this side. When you have two sides that are congruent, you should remember the isosceles triangle theorem that says that the base angles, or the angles opposite the sides that are congruent, will also be congruent. So that means that this angle will also be 30 degrees. So ABE is 30 degrees. Measure of angle AEB, AEB would be this angle right here. Well, if this is 30 and that's 30, that makes 60. I know that the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 total, so if these two add up to 60, that means that this angle here is 120. Okay, so this is 120. The measure of angle BEC, that means BEC, that means this angle here. What's the measure of that angle? Well, this angle forms a linear pair with this angle, which is 120. So 120 plus what will give you 180. That means that this angle is 60. By the linear pair postulate, the measure of angle EBC, EBC would be EBC. That's this angle right here. Now, since I know this is a rectangle, and the definition of a rectangle is that it has 4 right angles, I know angle B total is 90 degrees. So if this little piece is 30, that means this right here has to be 60, so that I end up with a total of 90. So this is 60. The measure of angle BCE, which is BCE, that's this angle here. Well, again, we use the isosceles triangle theorem. I know EB is 3, so EC has to be 3 also, right? So that makes me have a triangle with two congruent sides again, and then this would be a base angle, and this one would be a base angle. Remember, the opposite angles to the congruent sides will also be congruent, so that has to be 60 degrees. The measure of angle CDE, CDE, that would be this angle here. For this angle, you will have, again, you could do the following. You have an isosceles triangle. I know this measures 3, and this side measures 3, so this angle has to be the same as this one. They have to be congruent. Let me use double congruency marks here so that we're not confused. So I know these two are congruent, and I also know what this angle measures here. What does this angle measure? It's 120 because of vertical angles. So if this is 120, I have 60 left from 180, right? To share between two congruent angles. If both these are congruent, then they each have to be 30. They each have to be 30. So angle CDE is 30. And the measure of angle EDA, which is EDA, this piece here, this will be 60 because the whole angle is 90. So this has to be 60. 4 isosceles triangles in the figure. Well, I marked off the first one for you. The other one would be this one, BEC, triangle BEC. Well, let's label all of them AEB. AEB is an isosceles triangle, also triangle BEC, and also triangle DEC. And last but not least is triangle AED. Okay, this question here, the 3 angles congruent to angle ABE. ABE is right, this one. 3 angles that are congruent to that one. Well, you have angle CDE congruent, you have angle ECD, and you also have angle BAE. Okay, they're all 30, so you would list all those 3 angles. Are the diagonals of a rectangle congruent? No. And are the diagonals of the rectangle perpendicular to each other? No. And there you go. I hope you understood this example. I'm going to do another video with 2 other problems from the review. I'll see you in the next video.